Hey folks, welcome to episode 153 of the Cycling Hokkaido podcast. I am joined this week again by a wonderful guest, Norman White of Cycle Shikoku, a bicycle tour company down south in Shikoku. Norman, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. How are you? How are things down in Shikoku?
Well, we are into summer, so we're missing those lovely mild days of the summer in Hokkaido. It's hot, hot, hot down here. It was 37 degrees today.
Ooh. That does heat like that change the dynamics of riding down there?
Oh, it does. It does. Just cannot ride in the middle of the day. We ride early in the morning or ride in the afternoon. I swam in the ocean today, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, yeah.
And what city are you in Shikoku?
I'm in Kagawa Prefecture, and we're in the capital city of Takamatsu.
Oh, cool.
But luckily, we live out on a peninsula, and we're the farthest, most northern point of Shikoku is right down the street from our house. So we're right on the ocean. It's really nice.
Beautiful. So, Norman, you're a tour guide, company owner, operator. Have you always been into athletics?
Yeah, basically, just as an amateur, I grew up as a swimming kid and started doing triathlon in the mid 80s. That was the big boom of triathlon in the States. Actually, this is a fun fact. Lance Armstrong won the first triathlon I ever did.
Wow, that is very cool.
He was 15 years old.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. So and where are you from? Where was that?
I'm an American and I'm from the state of Florida. But the race, I believe, was in Tennessee somewhere. We've moved around. I'm a military brat, but sadly, I'd never been in Japan before. But I was doing some kind of cycling or triathlon or swimming basically 50 years or so.
Wow. Wow. So this kind of like is it being a tour guide operator is kind of a natural fit for you.
Yes, yes, it is. I came to Japan and did many jobs like a lot of people do. And then I started running restaurants about 25 years ago and did that for 15 years and then just kind of fell into this. I always wanted to be involved in cycling in Japan, but I never wanted to own a bike shop because if you own a bike shop, then you can never leave. You're always there. And also in the cycling world, there's two kinds of cyclists. There is a cyclist, a rider, which I am, and then there's a person called a wrench.
Ah.
And a wrench just wants to work on bicycles.
Ah, I cool. And I think if I may, your wife's name was Reika?
Reiko, yes, Reiko.
Reiko, sorry. And she's a bike mechanic, right?
Yes, she is.
Wow. So you ride the bikes, she fixes them up.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's also a rider, but she's a good mechanic. And I met her when she was a mechanic. And when we got the opportunity to do some cycle guiding, companies started asking me, "Can you do this?" And I said, "Well, I'll do it if my wife can come." And they were a little bit confused. I said, "Oh, my wife is a bike mechanic," and they said, "Oh my God, that's the perfect match." A bilingual guide and a bilingual mechanic is hens harder to find than hen's teeth, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Just I got a lot of questions about your
Sure.
bike touring stuff. But first, what kind of restaurants were you doing?
I had a New York pizza shop. I had a sandwich cafe. I had a Tex-Mex restaurant. I did a lot of things. I had a Beastie Boys themed bar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I just burned out when I fell into this cycling thing. I was burned out, and I'd sold off the restaurants that still existed, and was looking for something to do. And this guiding kind of came to me.
Wow. How did that happen? How did that come about?
Well, I started renting bikes. Have you heard of on this island of Shikoku? They have the 88 Temple pilgrimage.
Yes, yes, I have heard of that.
Yes. So when I was in the restaurant business, I was in Tokushima, where that pilgrimage starts.
Hmm.
And sometimes people would bring these random foreigners to my restaurants say, "Hey, this guy's really big. He's looking for a bike. Can you find him a bike?" So, I had 8 bikes of my own at the time.
Hmm.
So I thought, yeah, I just started like renting the bikes almost for free. And so when I finished with the restaurant business, I bought a bunch of touring bikes with the rear racks and pannier bags and lights and helmets, and just started renting them to these people who wanted to do the pilgrimage, because I found that in Shikoku, you can rent bikes from local authorities, some bike shops, but no one was willing to rent a bike for more than a week.
Hmm.
So it takes about 3 weeks to a month to do the pilgrimage by bike. So I decided, okay, I can do that. And I was willing to take the risk. And honestly, we've been doing it for over 10 years. We've never lost a bike,
Great.
never had one stolen.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah. And yeah, and it just kind of fell in. Someone said, "Oh, you're the bike guy." I don't know how I became the bike guy, but yeah, I just was renting bikes, and then someone asked me, "Can you do a 1 day tour?" And we're having this cycle guide, like a symposium, where you come and you get a license, and it just kind of steamrolled. And then foreign companies, um, one of the biggest tour companies in Asia called Grasshopper Adventures, asked me to guide for them about 9 years ago,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
we've been going. So about 2 years ago, we officially made Cycle Shikoku a company, an official company,
Hmm.
and we do mostly tours now, but we do some rentals. We've got 2 people from Taiwan on the road right now, but basically we just do tours, and it's been absolutely fantastic. I'm having the greatest time,
I
you know.
bet you. Well, I mean, when I met you in Shiretoko a couple of weeks back, you guys looked like you were having fun. Your group just had a fantastic atmosphere about it. I mean, at the top when we were had those little snacks and things, everybody was just having so much fun, and I think that was from you and your staff for projecting this positivity and this really fun vibe.
Oh, thank you for saying that. That's what we're trying to do. Honestly, cyclists are good people, as you know, and we're just helping them, get around. Honestly, my wife and I are also cycle tourists. We've cycled in Australia, France, Austria, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, um, and we like what we do. And when we're not running these tours, we're off cycling somewhere else. So I hope that people get that, we're enthusiasts ourselves. This is
Yeah.
not just a business.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, but I think that very clearly came through on the road again a couple of weeks ago, because it wasn't like, oh, there's the leader. You were just a part of the group. At least that's what
Yes.
it felt like to me.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We're a team. There was 4 of us there, 2 guides and 2 drivers, mechanic, and we are all just working together and helping people get around and have a good time and kind of wrinkle out the bumps.
Hmm. Right.
That area where we met you, Shiritoko, is very, very remote. So
Yes.
we did run into a few little tour companies here and there, but we're happy. We had 9 guests this time,
Yep.
and we were having a great time. That's pretty much standard for us, anywhere from 4 to 16. Over 16, it becomes a bit much. But
Sure. Sure.
yeah,
Well,
nice people.
yeah,
Go
oh,
ahead.
yeah. They were great. I think this would be a good spot to tell the story of how we actually met face to face on the Shiretoko Pass. Um,
Sure.
So, what was it? Back in December, Norman, you got in touch saying, I'm going to have a tour up in Hokkaido. You're from Shikoku, but you were organizing this Hokkaido tour. And I think you'd maybe listened to a few episodes of the podcast by then.
Yes, yes, I had.
Yeah. And you sent me a mail. You said, I'm looking at this tour in Hokkaido. Maybe can you help me out with some stuff later on? Right. And I was like, yeah, sure. But turns out you didn't need my help. You had enough staff in that, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yes. And we were also looking for a jersey.
That's right. That's yeah, the jersey. The jersey's the key to this whole story. So, Norman designed this jersey with this company called Decoja. Is that correct?
Decoja, Decoja, yes.
Decoja. So they put together this fantastic jersey. There's pictures of it all over the Cycling Hokkaido podcast Instagram page. You can check those out if you want. And they put together this jersey. It's got bears on it. It's got Ainu motifs. It's got those little white snowbirds that I can never remember the name.
I can't either.
Yeah, I cannot remember the. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, that's it. I probably should have prepared a bit more for this episode. But I had this time, I had a full 2 days off. So I drove out to Shiretoko the Friday night before with plans to cycle up the Saturday. And I had no idea of Norman and his group's schedule, route. I had no idea of it at all. And some of your group rode past me up the hill, quite close to the top. And then I think one of your guides, I think his name was Mickey, yes?
Yes, Mickey.
So Mickey comes up beside me and he's kind of, we have a bit of a chat, but I can't stop looking at the jersey he's wearing. I'm like, why do I know this? How could I possibly know this jersey? We get a few hundred meters up the hill and it hit me. Oh, that is Cycle Shikoku's Hokkaido Tour jersey that I've seen in DMs over the past couple of months. And I said, hey, are you guys from down south? And he's like, yeah, we're from Shikoku. Shikoku, that's right. And he says, are you guiding this group? He says, yes, we are. And I just kept going on asking these questions. And at one point, Mickey was just like, how do you know all this? Just some random guy on the pass. And the universe just came together and we met face to face in the parking lot at the top, completely random.
Yeah, very random. Let me tell you a little bit of the background of that story. My company, Cycle Shikoku, we specialize in cycling tours in Shikoku, and we pretty much stay in our lane. We're really good at what we do here on Shikoku, but this group was a group of repeaters that said we'd like to come back, and one of them mentioned Hokkaido. And they said, can you do a tour in Hokkaido? And I thought, oh, I've only been there once, and I took a couple there. And so I was a little bit nervous, but I said, okay, I agreed to do the tour, but as a one-off custom tour. But I thought I can't give them a jersey from normally with Cycle Shikoku. When you come on one of our tours, you get one of our jerseys, but I can't give these people going to Hokkaido a Cycle Shikoku jersey. So I started looking online, and surprisingly, at like Montbell and these other shops online, no one has a Hokkaido jersey. It's surprising. So this company, I contacted this company, Decoja, which means like decorated jersey, Decoja. Right. And I said, hey, you make jerseys. They've got like a ninja jersey and a Sakura jersey and a Shimanami Kaido jersey. And I said, have you ever considered doing, they have an Osaka and a Tokyo jersey. I said, have you considered doing a Hokkaido jersey? And he said, actually I have. And I said, well, if you make a Hokkaido jersey, I'd like to put in some input on the design, which he was more than happy to let me do. And he has a kimono designer from Kyoto that designs the jerseys. And I said, if you could come up with, a jersey for Hokkaido, that would be great. And I'll buy 20 of them,
Yeah.
And that's how it took quite a few months. And I did call him back a number of times saying, hey, where are we at on that jersey? And it worked out. And he's nothing but a lovely guy. If you're ever on the Shimanami Kaido, he's there selling jerseys on the weekend. And you can find him online. But thanks for plugging him, because he's a really good guy and it's a really good company. He sews all the jerseys in Japan. He personally sews them, and that's how that happened. But yeah, running into you, what a treat.
It was something else. And thank you so much for the jersey.
Oh, you're
awesome.
more than welcome.
I wore it the second day of my trip, where I went to Lake Kusharo and the Bihoro Pass.
Yes.
And I couldn't believe it. It was kind of getting near the end of my day, and I'd come out of the Ainu Museum at Lake Kusharo. And as I'm cycling off the property, somebody in the van across the street shouts, "Hi." And it was your driver bike mechanic again.
That's A. Yeah.
A. And
Yeah,
so then I rode past your whole group 2 days in a row. I saw you guys.
two
That
days in a row. Crazy.
I couldn't believe it. And the two pinpoint places that I'd planned to ride for that weekend. Just
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, just wild. And yeah, we had a great time meeting you. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason I met this guy. There's got to be a reason.
Yes.
So, yeah, great, great. Yeah,
And
really, really fantastic.
yes. And the name of the little birds are Shima Inaga. Shima
Shima
Enaga.
Inaga.
Mm.
Enaga. Yeah, I won't
Right.
remember that either. Shima
Yeah,
Enaga.
me neither. But hey, so how was the rest of your Cycle Shikoku Hokkaido trip?
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. We rode for 10 days, nine
Wow.
days, sorry. We rode for 9 days. We had 8.5 days of perfect sunshine.
Yeah. That's another.
It
The weather was gorgeous.
gorgeous. Our last day going into, where did we finish? Asahikawa. The morning it rained, but some of us rode in the rain, and then in the afternoon it cleared up. So beautiful tour, beautiful weather, nice roads, um, nice people, and some great hotels. We had some really nice hotels, especially around Shiretoko in what was that called? I
Utoro.
can't remember the name. Utoro. Yeah,
Mm.
on the way before we went up, and we did see a bear crossing the road.
Oh, no way.
Yes, quite far ahead of us, but a bear crossed the road.
Wow. That must have been just behind me then.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
Yeah, because you guys came up from behind me. Because some of you, I think I was stopped taking some pictures or something. But you guys cycled right past me, and your guests were all really nice too. But sorry, a bear. Wow, what size was it? I've never seen one.
I don't know. One of our guests, just one or two of our guests saw it and said that it came out, it looked twice and just ran across the road.
Wow.
But they said it was, a couple, 200 meters at 300 meters ahead. They weren't scared, but we had bells on the cars. We had bear spray. We had whistles. We all had bells on our bikes. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that must have been just maybe an hour behind me because I think I started climbing just before 9 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
What time were you guys? You guys said you had a order made breakfast or something there?
Oh, no, it was a buffet, but it was really, really nice. Really, really nice. But yeah, we got on the road about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Trying to remember the hotel name. It was really, really nice. One of the ones that you could, out the window, you could see the ice flows in the winter,
Wow.
and really, really nice. We luckily found, cycle touring. Sometimes it's hard to make the route and the very nice hotels match,
Yeah, for sure.
because it's not like you can ride 150K a day or 200. Some of groups can, but we can't.
Yeah.
So we try to stay between 70 and 90 kilometers a day.
Very comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. Um,
So I think that was your second day I met you guys, right?
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So where did you start?
We started in Memanbetsu.
Okay.
So yeah, we had them fly in there. Let me look up my route.
Mm.
Uh,
But yeah,
and go ahead. Yes.
that's another thing I wanted to ask you about. How did you get everybody in your bikes and gear? So you just said that your guests flew up. I guess the cars and everything you took the ferry, obviously. Or did you rent all those? You didn't rent those vans here.
No, one of them we did. So what we did is
Ah,
that we brought one van with all the gear and the bicycles from Shikoku,
mm,
and we went up days early. A few
mm,
days early. Took the thing up. We drove some of the course because some of the course we've done before, and other parts were new just to match where the hotel locations were.
right.
So the days that we didn't know, we went in the van for a couple days driving around, and then we had our one driver and one guide fly up, and we rented a van from Asahikawa because we're going to finish there.
Ah, I see. Huh.
So if you remember, we had one like high ace van that's just gear and food and bicycle stuff, and then the other van was a passenger van, which is pretty standard for us.
Ah, see, I saw the one with all the gear and stuff on it in it.
Yeah.
So you start in Momambetsu, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then Shiretoko, then into Laos.
Yes.
I think you were having lunch in Laos, right?
Yes. Yes, we did. Hold on, let me get
Hmm.
this right. Hokkaido day three was oh, that was day three we were on. Oh, we counted day one as like a check-in day. So normally on these tours, we have the day that people arrived. People arrived, at all different times, and we start from a hotel. We say we have a hotel room waiting for them, and the first day we just kind of meet and greet people, and then uh, what's the other one? Bike sizing, stuff like that. People might bring their pedals or their seats or whatever. Some people have mobility issues that might need extra things on their bike to help them steer or something like that. We've had people with prosthetic limbs, and
Mm.
they bring things to help them get around better. So the
Wow.
first day is check in and just like a welcome dinner kind of thing.
Right.
So that was day three. What was day four?
Oh, well, I guess day four would have been Lake Kusharo.
Yes, yes. Day four was Lake Kasharo.
And
And go ahead.
and the Bihoro Pass as well.
Yes,
That Bihoro Pass, that was some of the most gorgeous scenery I think there is out there. The views of the lake from the top were just stunning.
yes, yes. Very, very nice. That was really, really nice, and the weather was perfect. We stopped right uh, by one of the lakes, and we found a little winery
Oh,
that we found just on our checking when we were driving around. We realized one of the hotels was so high up a hill that we probably want to stop before it was a big, like 10, 11 kilometer climb.
right.
And we were warned that there's a lot of wildlife in that forest. So we
Mm.
stopped at the bottom, stopped for a glass of wine, and then put everyone in the van. Of course, this is Japan. We can't drink and drive.
No.
So even on the bicycles. So we did not do that.
Mm.
Here, so,
Maybe that was Lake Mashu.
Mashu. Yes, it was Mashu.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't climb up to Mashu, but I saw there were a lot of switchbacks on the road up there.
Yes, there were. So, but we got through it. We had five people on e-bikes
Mm.
and then four people on standard road bikes.
Right.
So it works out well. When in this industry, when we first started doing tours, they thought, oh, should we mix e-bikes and standard bikes together? Is that going to work? But it turns out that we have a lot of couples and a lot of retired couples. And sometimes the husband's a little bit older, sometimes the wife's not a cyclist. So one of them uses an e-bike, the other one uses a standard bike, and they seem to ride together, and you know they have a good time because they can keep up with their partner.
Yeah, 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 you don't want to get dropped when you're trying to have a fun tour.
Exactly. I got dropped a couple times this tour. Some of the people were strong. They were strong. I
Yeah,
hate to
actually,
admit that, but
no, they looked like cyclists, or they looked like they'd spent a lifetime on their bikes.
yeah, but they toured with us actually 8 years ago. So a couple of them are 75 years old.
Yeah,
So
I noticed the age of your group as well, but they were still capable.
yes, yes, they're very, very careful. So um, yeah, we were glad to have them. They were great people. Uh, and yeah, we got around great and had a good time. And um, yeah, surprisingly, the only thing, if not really a complaint, but these onsen hotels, if you stay every day,
Mm.
they just bombard you with food. And some people just said, this stuff looks so beautiful. The food's so good, but we cannot finish it all.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we kind of mix it up. And some days we purposely stay in standard hotels, um, because just, even for Japanese people, an onsen hotel a week straight, you'd gain 5 kilograms.
even on the bike.
Yeah, I came back 2 kilograms heavier.
No. That's awesome. That's really that's fun. And
Yeah.
did you go through Daisetsuzan as well?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
So we went through there, stayed at some nice places, and then came down into Asahikawa. Is that right?
Yeah. So I think you would have gone from the direction you were, I think you would have gone up the Mikuni Pass from Kamishihoro.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Then you cross the Matsumi Bridge from there. Did you have the coffee ice cream at the top at the little cafe?
Oh, yes, we did. We did. We did. We did.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Isn't that
Yeah,
good?
that was really good. And we considered lunch there, but we stopped in a town just before there for lunch, just
Uh,
before the big climb.
Nukabira.
Yes, yeah, yeah, there. And it was clear that day when we woke up, it was a little bit cloudy, and I thought, oh no, we're not going to see the lookout point. And it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That
That
Mikuni.
Go
Yeah, no,
ahead,
sure.
yes.
That to me is the most beautiful ride in Hokkaido, the Mikuni Pass.
Really, we enjoyed it as well. That and Shiretoko were the high points.
Yeah. So what two last year I spent a weekend on the Mikuni Pass. The Saturday I rode up it from the Kamikawa side and went back down the same side, then drove over, and then the Sunday I cycled up from the Kamishihoro side. So you could get because they're very, very different rides.
Yes.
Like going down the Kamikawa side, you go through Sounkyo and the valley and the waterfalls. It's a much more kind of natural thing. The Kamishihoro side is a bit more of historical Hokkaido with the rail lines and things.
Yeah, true, 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 true,
Both
true.
outstanding, but I love that ride. It's incredible.
Yeah, yeah. We liked it. Our guests liked it. And for me, it's so different from Shikoku.
Yeah, this is another thing I wanted to ask you. How do they compare at all? Like what?
Well, we find that the climbs in Hokkaido are not that tough. They're just long.
Okay.
They're 3, 4, 5%. Shikoku's more up and down, but we have a lot more like really narrow farm roads that we can use, no trucks. Not that in Hokkaido, the road, we were pleasantly surprised. The road is so wide
Mm,
usually that even if you're on a road with some trucks, it's not a big deal because you have such a big shoulder.
yeah.
To where in Shikoku, the roads with a big shoulder have a lot of trucks. So we pretty much stay off of those
Mm,
and stay in little back roads. We start with the Shimanami Kaido usually from Hiroshima in Onomichi. And then we spend a lot of time going through little back small towns. So Hokkaido was more different. A lot of Shikoku does not have long straight roads.
okay.
We noticed in Hokkaido, it's almost like being in the plains of America and Canada, the wheat fields and the corn. We don't have that down here.
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, no, that's very true. Especially, when you're in like Furano and Bie.
Yes.
I imagine you went through there as well.
Yeah, we went there on the last day
Yeah. So some of those roads they just go on forever.
forever. But the customers liked it. The cracks, we don't have those cracks in the roads. I'm assuming that's from the road freezing.
Yes, the winter destroys them.
Yeah. And this time I threw in a little bit of gravel, but it was slightly unfortunate. 3 years ago, we rode some gravel roads and they were nice and smooth and they were no problem. This year, they seem to have laid down some new gravel after winter.
Ah,
And we had a couple gravel roads that were unrideable. They were just so rocky.
yeah.
So we had to bypass a couple gravel roads. But other than that, the roads were great. It's Japan, so there's no garbage on the road. Um, Finding toilets is not always easy, but we were using nature's green toilet quite a bit.
Yes, yes. No,
But yeah,
nobody was too
go ahead.
shy or anything. Everybody was okay.
No, no, they were shy. And that bush you have, we don't have sasa.
Ah,
The Yeah, that's only a Hokkaido thing. Like we
the
have
salsa.
we have proper bamboo. So
Mm,
sasa is in the the bamboo family, but we don't
Mm.
have it, so it's quite easy. But also the sasas on the side of the road, the wildlife coming out sometimes just kind of peeks out right in front of you.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
fox and deer and tanuki,
Yeah.
and yeah. We didn't see any wild boar, which in Shikoku we see wild boar and monkeys. We see monkeys down here.
Really?
Yes.
Is that cool? Are they
Oh
mischievous?
yeah. No, they're very scared. So we only see them on the bikes. Whenever they see vehicles, they leave, and they're just basically on the side of the mountain or in a tree, and they pretty much run away when they see us. But the bikes are cold, so I mean the bikes are quiet. Excuse me.
Hmm.
So they don't really. The monkeys don't run away quickly. But yeah, we see monkeys on their mom's back walking across the road. Um,
Cool.
yeah, Shikoku is for that. Seeing wildlife, Shikoku is really good. Now we try not to run into the wild boar is usually early in the morning and at dusk,
Yeah.
which normally we're not on the road at that time, but we
Hmm.
do see them from time to time. And we go really remote up in the mountains. So people that come in tour in Shikoku, I suggest like do self-guided or like have a support van because a lot of places in the mountains there's nothing.
Hmm.
Beautiful riding, absolutely gorgeous riding, but it's really hard to find a place to have lunch and um, that kind of stuff. But the distances in Hokkaido, that was a real challenge for us. From point to point, some of the distances were so long that we had to stop and take the van the rest of the way
Okay.
because
So,
this is not a training camp; it's a vacation.
yes. Very good point. Yes. Now, that's an interesting point. So, when you're in Shikoku, like you don't do 100-kilometer days or things?
We have, well, if people request it, sometimes we get some younger riders, but our customer base is about 50 years old to 75.
Hmm.
So we get a lot of retirees and they have a little bit more time. But we have some days that are 90 or so. But
Hmm.
because of the more climbing in Shikoku,
Ah,
um, then it's harder to do a 90K day with climbs.
I see. Now, how long are these climbs? It's much steeper but shorter, or
Yes, shorter. So we might have four or five climbs during the day, but we'd have a couple days that we're climbing about 1,200 meters in one day.
ooh,
Yeah.
that's a
So
lot. Yeah.
Like the Shiretoko Pass, right? That was about that.
I think that was just almost less than 800, I think.
Okay. Okay.
But if you're adding in, the previous days or stuff, but some of them around here are like Nakayama, Asari. I think everything's under 800.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but most we have flat days. Like the Shimanami Kaido is fairly flat, but there are a little short and sharp, like just 300 or 400 meters tall. But it's sometimes it can get up to 10%.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so so that can be challenging for people on standard bikes.
Yeah, yeah. And how about the scenery when you're rolling through these places? How was it? Does it compare at all? Is it very totally night and day?
No, night and day. We're going through a lot more forests.
Hmm.
Uh, very Shikoku is very off the beaten path.
Hmm.
So yeah, Hokkaido seemed like you could see long and straight very far in front of you,
Right.
quite normally. To where in Shikoku, yeah, every turn is a mystery.
Ah,
So
cool.
we do give GPS units to our guests. So even though we ride in a group, they still have a map.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And some people use their phone as well
Hmm.
to navigate. But how do you navigate?
I use Ride with GPS, and I generally use my phone. But one thing I found when I was in Shiretoko, I didn't have any service.
Oh, yes,
I had
exactly.
nothing. And even in Lake Kusharo and the Bihoro Pass, if I hadn't if I didn't already have anything programmed in my phone, I had no service.
Yes. So that's another reason. We have the same problem in Shikoku.
Ah,
So that's why we give out the Jeep, even if they say I have my own phone. Some people bring their own, Garmin or Wahoo, with them, and I send them the routes in advance. Uh, but yeah, that's an issue when you use your phone.
Yeah.
Is am I going to have self service?
You gotta love these guest episodes, eh, folks? It's always fun talking to interesting people. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Jonathan Shapiro Anjaria. That was great to meet up for dinner a couple of weeks back. Thank you very much for getting in touch and having fun in Hokkaido using the show. Thank you. Much appreciated. And folks, if you are using the show to plan your Hokkaido trip, if you just like the stories, and if you would like to support the show and help keep my wheels turning, you can buy me a virtual coffee. You can do that at buymeacoffee.com/Cycling Hokkaido. Now, let's get back to this conversation with Norman White.
So we give each person even though we ride together, we give each person a GPS unit. So if they get off track, it can bring them back onto the route. It's very rare that we lose anyone, but it's just another layer of security.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Hokkaido was much easier because we can basically see everyone on the road.
Yeah, good point. Even if you're a kilometer ahead, yeah, you can still, very good point. Yes.
Yeah, Shikoku has a lot of turns that can sometimes be easy to miss. So yeah, in Hokkaido, or we send the van, often we send the lead van ahead and he's waiting at the turn.
I see.
You can be zoned out and kind of maybe you have a podcast you're listening to, like this podcast.
Yes.
And you're hopefully only in one ear, and then you miss the turn. So it's just another layer of protection because at number one, these tours, we're here to keep people safe.
For sure. For sure. You don't want to go on some dream ride and come back with broken ankles or anything, or worse.
Yes. Knock on wood, we've never had a serious injury. We've never had anything that dealt with a vehicle. So that's good. Also, the people commented that the people of Hokkaido and the rest of Japan are very nice, giving you space on the road. No road ragers. So those for you want to tour in Japan anywhere, Hokkaido included, you're not going to see a lot of road ragers on the road.
No, for sure. That is definitely a very nice point to riding here. Not like what happened in Texas yesterday. Did you see that woman was killed? Yeah.
Yeah,
but the guy reversed.
It's really sad. And that's why I think Japan is a great place to cycle. Sometimes moving your bicycle might be difficult, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of anything remotely near to that happening here. Drivers are definitely much safer around cyclists. Not always perfect.
Yeah, not always, but yeah, generally, we feel pretty safe on the road, but we try to stay close. We do also operate as something called a self-guided tours where the guests go out on their own and we just book their hotels and move their luggage for them each day.
Okay.
We worry about them a little bit more, so we kind of spy on them a little bit.
Good idea.
We kind of stay kind of close to where they can't see us, but we're there unless they have if they have an issue.
Yeah.
Also, this tour we had 0 flat tires.
Oh, nice. Very nice. You must be using Schwalbe's then.
Yes.
Which ones are you using? I have Schwalbe greens
Marathon.
on mine. Marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, Marathon. Yeah. They're not the coolest looking. They're not the hippest tire on the market, but they're just puncture proof.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. I found that as well. I've had a couple of punctures with them, but one was a nail that I swear would have taken out an airplane tire. So you get all the gear for everybody, and you do all the services for the bikes yourself.
Yes.
Now, forgive me, Norman, I wanted to come back to this. Earlier in the episode, you said you had troubles looking for bikes from time to time because you're a big guy.
Yes. So finding big bikes in Japan is an issue. It's funny. I've been in the cycling world in Japan for 30 years, and me being, just for the listener, I'm 197 centimeters tall. That's like 6'5". And so I've always struggled to get bikes. So we really have to try hard to get big enough bikes. We had one guy that was 6'9" that rode with
Wow.
us, and we found him a bike, which is, yeah, very difficult here.
Do you have anything custom made for yourself?
I do have, sorry, this is going to be a podcast, but behind me is a custom made bike that I had it made in Boston.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
I don't know if I have my videos on, but yes, I have had custom bikes built in the past, or I just have to put really big handlebars and big stems on the bike to make them fit.
Right, right.
But yeah, we do get small. We get the full range. We get very small people that need an extra small bike, and we get people that need extra large bikes. So this is the hard part of, when people sign up for these tours. Oh, we have 10 people, no problem. But do we have the right size for 10 people?
Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, I have been asked in the past from Chinese tour operators, can you do a cycle tour for 150 people?
Whoa.
And I always say no,
No.
no. So first of all, who has enough bikes for 150 people?
Yeah.
Because like our current fleet is about 68 bikes,
Okay.
but you know we've we've run two tours of 16 at once. But also, 150 people on the road, that's you need a police escort.
Well, another thing with that, well, one thing I've noticed over the last couple of years talking with guides like yourself is that you guys are very careful that you know who your clients are, who your guests are before you even get on a bike. Like various degrees of fitness, varying degrees of experience, cycling knowledge, knowledge of a bicycle, you name it. You guys are asking these questions before you even sit down on the bike, right?
Yes, especially for the self-guided tours, because if a person can't change a flat tire,
Yeah.
they're going to be in trouble in the mountains. And what if they're somewhere where we don't have self-service?
Yeah. But I mean, how could you possibly prepare for a group of 150?
Oh, it would be a nightmare. It would be a living nightmare.
Yeah. And I mean, like what you're saying, you're responsible for their safety and their
Yes,
enjoyment of their vacation. It's not a training camp.
yes, yeah.
Yes. Wow. I can't, yeah. Now that you've said that, I can't even imagine what a 150 group tour looks like. How many staff, if you could, how many staff would you need to do that?
Yeah, the biggest tour we've ever done was 36 people, but 12 of them were not riding. So we've had 24 people on bikes,
Hmm.
including the guide, and that makes the line of riders about 2 kilometers long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because just this past tour you did in Hokkaido, there were 9 people.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a large group of people on bicycles.
Yeah, and on the climbs, we let them go. When we get to, there's certain people that come to a country and they want to climb.
Mm.
They live in a flat area or they just love climbing. So when we get to the base of climb, we say, ride your own pace, go. We'll see you at the top. And we always have a van at the top,
Yep.
usually with water and snacks. And then you notice that tour, I was the last person that got to the top of the hill. And I was not taking pictures. You were taking pictures. I was not.
I, I took quite a few pictures. Yeah, I definitely did. That was beautiful. That Shiretoko, that. So I'm gonna have after that weekend I had out there, I definitely have to revisit my top 5 Hokkaido rides. There's gonna have to be, I think it's gonna have to expand to a top 10 list.
Oh, nice. We did very much enjoy the riding up there. And we did run into just a few cycle tourists. I wanted to ask you as well this, when do you see the most people on sorry, do you live in Sapporo?
I live just north of Sapporo in Ishikari.
Okay. Yes, I was wondering when do you see the most bikepackers in Hokkaido? Because I'm sure some of the people listening here are trying to time when they go.
Yeah, it's now definitely the summer. Um, there's a couple of reasons. Well, obviously, it's the best season. It's the warmest, and if you're camping, you can do it comfortably at night. Um, but even just this past weekend, we were down at my wife's place in Noboribetsu, and even the drive from here to there, we saw three guys on bicycles doing the Nihon Isshu thing, the one lap
Oh
around
yeah,
Japan.
yeah, yeah.
So bikepackers and things are all out and about right now. In the spring, there was a couple from Belgium that were here cycling, and they had a bad time. Spring is not a good time for cycling, camping here in Hokkaido. It's cold, it's windy, it's very windy. It's not a good experience. You can definitely have a lot more fun in summer and fall. Fall's gorgeous. Fall's a gorgeous time of year to ride as well. But again, if you're camping and things, it can get cold at night. So
Sure.
if you're looking for like the camping, living in a tent type experience, the summer now is definitely the time to do it.
Yeah, we thought we hit it just right. We just kind of guessed off of estimates of weather, and the weather was kind of bad before we arrived, and we were really worried.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and luckily we hit it. It was perfect, beautiful weather. Everyone was said we couldn't believe how nice the weather was. Love the hotels, love the riding.
Oh yeah.
Great.
But it's absolutely true. The week before you guys got here, we had a lot of rain, and it
Yes.
had been kind of a very cool summer.
Yeah, we'd been looking at the temperatures, and when we got off the ferry, it was much colder than we thought it was going to be. And I thought, uh-oh, have we made a mistake here?
Yeah. Well, again, when the weather finally kind of made that shift, and I saw that was in the weather forecast, that was kind of my final decision that Friday morning that I'm going out to Shiretoko tonight after work.
Yeah, and I guess we're just lucky. I don't know the conditions up there, but 3 years ago when we rode there in the Shiretoko Pass, and the 2 weeks ago, it was just gorgeous. It couldn't have been clearer. It couldn't have been nicer.
And it
Oh,
wasn't too hot.
no, it wasn't bad.
It was
It
perfect.
wasn't. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. And then I came back down here, and we rode yesterday at 6:30 at night because 6:30 to 7:30 because it's just so hot down here.
Wow, 37.
Yeah, yeah,
Holy
it's
smokes.
hot.
Mm. And how many tours a year do you do?
That's a good question. We operate for our own tours, and then we operate for some others. So this year we've done 12 already,
Wow.
and we've got a group. We've actually got technically three teams that could be on the road at once. So I would say 20, just as an average, 20 times a year.
Yeah, well, great.
And then the midsummer, we're off from now. The midsummer and then the midwinter. The midwinter here is like you say, it's windy, it can be cold. There are two places on Shikoku that technically have snow. Um, that was another thing I wanted to mention, snow. It was so amazing to see snow still in the mountains in Hokkaido. To be able to ride in warm weather and still see snow for us is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, right at the top of Shiretoko there were a couple of spots that still had big patches of snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where were your guests from? They were all American, right?
Yes, they were American. Most of them they're a group from Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, cool.
And so they surprisingly said Santa Cruz because of the ocean winds can be very, very cold in the morning,
Okay.
just like San Francisco is,
Mm,
and or like probably Vancouver is that way, maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Do I have that right? The West Coast is Vancouver?
That's Vancouver, yeah.
Yes, yes. So they were used to this kind of weather and warm days, but I think it didn't get over 25 degrees when we were there. It was absolutely stunning.
Mm, yeah. I agree. It was lucky, especially with the way the summer had been up to that point.
Yes.
Mm,
Now, if I can
perfect.
give one piece of advice for cycle tourists
Mm.
going to Hokkaido, we were quite surprised how early lunch restaurants and dinner restaurants close.
Ah,
Um, we went to a number of lunch places that their last order for lunch was 12:30,
okay.
and we're not used to that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, okay. All right.
I don't know if you find this common, but maybe we just had bad luck.
No, I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. I haven't really noticed that. Was it in more remote places?
Remote places. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but well, hey, if you're cycling touring around, you're going to be in remote places. Good to know.
Yes. Yeah. But go ahead.
But yeah, I actually noticed that, Norman. You're very good at giving practical advice for cyclists. I was looking through quite a few of your YouTube videos recently coming up to this, and you gave a lot of very good advice, like how to take the ferry. I mean, there's things in there about how to take the ferry in Japan that you might not think were a thing. Like you need to buy two tickets, for one for yourself and one for your bike, unless you have a box.
Yes.
So I noticed in a lot of the videos you got up on YouTube, and by the way, folks, I will be providing links to Norman's YouTube and Instagram stuff in the show notes after this episode. But in quite a few of the episodes you do, you're giving practical, real cycling advice, like bike maintenance, what to prepare for the Shikoku weather in all seasons. Again, things like the ferry. And very, very useful information. It's kind of made me question, hey, am I doing this right?
No, no, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. But yeah, many of these videos have come through questions that I often get.
Okay, right.
And so I go and make a video when I've heard the same question 10 times. I realize, oh, this is not easy for tourists.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right. So that's where that comes from.
yeah. So there's like Japan Cycle Navigator on Facebook. There's all these groups that I often see. You've probably seen a lot of people ask about bike boxes and how hard it is to get a bike box in Japan.
Yes, yes.
Um, and I can give, here's my short answer. Bike shops are so small, they don't have a lot of space to store boxes. It's not that they don't want to give you a box, but they throw the boxes away quite quickly because they have nowhere to store them.
I see. There you go. Because in like the Japan Cycling Navigator and in Cycle in Japan, all these groups, that is probably the most common question. Where do I get a box?
Yes.
Yeah, I see. That's they just throw them away. I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a real big problem. Or they just rock up on the day and then they'll make a comment like, "Oh, I went to this bike shop and they didn't have a box and they wouldn't give me a box." And that's not really the answer. Is if they had a box, there would be more than it would behoove them to just give it to you because they don't have to throw it away.
Right.
So it's not that they don't want to give you a box, it's that they just don't have one on the day. So I always tell people, call, find a place where you're finishing, contact a bike shop and said, "I'll be there in a week or I'll be there in 3 days. Do you happen to have a box?"
Mm, mm, mm.
That might get better results.
Yes, that most likely would get better results. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. A couple of other things I wanted to ask. Would you do Hokkaido again?
Oh, good question. Good question. Now that we've done it twice, if we in the past, I have people have asked me to tour Kyushu, ask us to do private tours all over Japan, and we quite often say no. But would I do Hokkaido again? Yes,
Yes.
yes. Now that we have better routes and we have a little bit more familiar with the hotels, because doing that remotely, you can get on Ride with GPS, which is a great function, but it's a great uh, soft piece of software to use, or Komoot or the other ones. But just knowing, are the hotels up to par and can you find a place to eat lunch? And with bigger groups, when you have 16 people, you just can't rock up to some restaurant and expect to be served. So you have to call in advance. But yes, if we get asked to do Hokkaido again, absolutely.
Great, great. And that route you did is wonderful. Those are some of pretty much the biggest rides to do here, the most popular, famous things. Shiretoko, Kusharo Bihoro, the Mikuni Pass, Furano BA onto Asahikawa. That's
Yeah, yeah.
gorgeous. One more thing I want to ask about the Shimanami Kaido.
Yes.
Now, that is kind of Japan's cycling mecca, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. That is something at some point in my future I must get down to ride. Can you tell me about it?
Sure. For me, that is the number one place to ride in Japan because there's so
Yeah.
much variation.
Mm.
You're on islands and then you're in the mountains, and you can make it easy, fairly flat. The only climbing is when you go up on the bridges. All the bridges are different. That's another thing. There's 7 bridges.
Mm.
and they're all purposely made by different companies, so they're completely different shapes and sizes.
Wow.
There's a lot of cafes. It's not overdone, but there's cafes to stop in. There's usually enough hotels to stay in, and I suggest to people to stay in the middle somewhere, going all the way, unless you're going to go all the way across one day and then all the way back the other day. There's some nice little places to stay along the way. And for me, other places like Biwako, Lake Biwako,
Mm.
that's nice, but you're basically riding around the lake and there's not a lot of variation.
Right.
And with the Shimanami Kaido, you're most places you're going to see the ocean on both sides of the road,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
to where if you're doing Biwako, you're going to look always on the right. Or I always suggest ride with the ocean on your left. If you got water, you want that on the left, right? Is
Right.
that right? Yes, on the left. So I do a lot of consulting for cycling local authorities, and sometimes they make this beautiful route, and you're riding down the ocean. It's on the other side of the road.
Right.
So
Right.
Shimanami Kaido is really interesting for it's still countryside. Like when you're on each island, it's very rural. You see a
Mm.
lot of fruit farms. It's a citrus area.
Mm.
You see shipbuilding, which usually sounds like a minus, but it's very clean. There's places to stay, there's things to do, and it doesn't feel mechanical. When you're on the bridges, you're on a dedicated bike path, and you're separated from the highway because the bridges are highways.
Okay.
So you're in a separated bike path. You're separated by a concrete barrier.
Very nice.
So it's very, very nice. Please come down and stay with us, and we'll take you there. And sadly, 80% of the people start on the Onomichi side because it's just easy to get there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You're in Hiroshima, Onomichi.
Yep.
And me being a tour operator in Shikoku, I really think that the Shimanami Kaido is the pathway, the entrance to Shikoku.
Okay.
So some people come across to Imabari and stay one night and then go back or take the ferry back. That's another thing. There's a lot of bailout points. If you only run a ride 60K, you can ride over and take a ferry back to Onomichi. 30K, you can ride 30K and take a ferry back, or you can go the whole, which is about 75K across.
Right.
But it's, even if this was not in my backyard,
Yeah.
I would say this is the number one cycling destination in Japan. And if you want to go hardcore, I've done it all in one day, there and back,
Yeah.
which is like a full century or 160K round trip.
Right.
So if you want to go and do that, you can do that. If you want to go it slow and easy and take pictures and stop and smell the roses and stay in the middle, you can do that as well.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this because you saying that that's one of the most beautiful rides to do. I've been reading about it and I see comparisons between the Mikuni Pass possibly being the number one ride in Japan. But
Okay.
it's always those two, the Shimanami Kaido. But I think Shimanami Kaido is way more famous and the place to ride in Japan. And that being your backyard. Did that have any factoring into you staying in Shikoku?
No, it did not. I came here I went to university with someone from Shikoku, and I came down for a homestay. Um,
Oh,
yeah, that was it. And I started cycling. Well, I was always a cyclist, but I lived in Tokyo for almost a year, and I had a bike, and I almost never rode it because I couldn't. I was downtown. I was in Omotesando, like
mm,
Shinagawa,
mm,
Omotesando, and what's it called, Shibuya area.
mm.
And I would ride in the park at night, but it was just so busy. So I came down here, and this honestly, Shikoku is a cycling mecca.
Yeah,
I've been riding here for 30 years, and I'm still finding roads I haven't ridden on.
beautiful.
So, I notice in Hokkaido, there's certain routes that, like the Shiretoko, there's only one road.
Yes.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful and definitely worth doing. But those two climbs, me too, I put those two climbs, the Shiretoko and then the other one, what was it? The
The Mikuni Pass.
Mikuni Pass. Yeah, with the cafe, that little like cafe at the top, great.
Yeah.
And we ended up stopping there and loading the bikes out because we found a couple of the tunnels going up over the other side are a little bit narrow.
Mm, yeah.
So you rode through those tunnels this time?
Last year, yeah, yeah, I did.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty loud in there.
Loud. And we have customers, mostly Australians. They just don't have tunnels, so they're really freaked out by tunnels.
Oh, no way.
Um, so if you come from a country with tunnels, most people seem to be okay. And the tunnels in Japan are well lit. I don't think they're really a problem.
Mm.
But for people from really flat countries that have never ridden in a tunnel in their life, some of them uh, get a little bit freaked out by the noise. Like you said, the sound of the truck is reverberated.
Yes, yes. It is it's most definitely an enclosed space close to cars in a lot of places. There's a lot of tunnels around here that don't have sidewalks.
Yes.
Yeah, so it can be very, very daunting. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I rode those tunnels through Daisetsuzan, and they weren't bad, to be honest, compared to some others that are around. Yeah, they weren't that bad.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
noticed you have in Hokkaido, you have some tunnels that is open on one side, or it's like a enclosed tunnel, but there's like ceiling light. I mean, ceiling, sunlight can get through, and those are much better.
Much better. Much more comfortable when you can actually see the outside.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we didn't have any problems with the tunnels at
Great.
all.
Great.
We do bypass tunnels when we can, but in places like there's no option.
Yes. 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 Well, that's the whole point of a lot of the Hokkaido tunnels is because that's the only way you can get to the other side of the mountain range.
Yeah, but I would, if people ask me, would I ride in Hokkaido again? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a great place, and it's such a great option to go in the milder seasons, like the mild time, like your summer, to where the rest of Japan. I have someone doing a self-guided tour next week, and I don't think they know what they signed up for.
Wow, that'll be 40 degrees.
Yeah, and they're going to be hot, and they're going on their own, so
Wow.
uh, they're going to need a lot of water.
Yes. Norman, as we're kind of winding down, kind of any last thoughts?
Yeah, if for your listeners, people want to go to Hokkaido, I highly suggest going there. If you're going to ride, north to south, south to north, make sure you start or finish in the summer in Hokkaido, and you definitely will not be disappointed.
100%. Yeah. So I'll set people up with your YouTube channel and your Instagram, okay?
Great,
I'll
great,
put
great.
that in
And
the show notes and your website, of course. Sorry.
oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let us know if people comment about the jersey, because we've gotten some really good feedback about that
I,
jersey.
so have I. I've talked to so many people. People have commented on it here. When I was in what was it called? Lake Kusharo, the Wakato Peninsula. There was a
Yes.
woman. There was a woman at the visitor center that I walked in and was having a look around, and she came out from behind the desk. She's like, "What is that you're wearing?" And she had a closer look at it, and she's like, "Wow, that is great! Look at oh, look how Hokkaido it is!" And man, everybody I had any contact with in that weekend when I wore it that second day was looking at it, smiling. A couple of people were clapping hands at me.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear. I mean, give that Deco. He does some really, if you look at his website, he does some really interesting jerseys.
Awesome.
Um, and people, we did get a few comments. Oh, you're really risking fate by putting a bear on the
Yeah.
jersey. But the people really liked it, especially the ladies. The ladies really like it's a very soft jersey. It's not, I mean, like the design of it, it's very soft. It's not like in your face.
No, but
Um,
the colors of it all, I love the colors on it too. It's very, very well put together.
oh, thanks, thanks. Sorry, I don't know. I know the jersey I gave you might be a little bit big on you, but some people
No,
like a big jersey.
yeah, I do. It's comfortable. I don't like the super tight stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Mm,
yeah, go to that Deco job if any one of your listeners want to check out. They have all different kinds of jerseys,
mm,
all based on Japan.
cool.
Very, very, very interesting. I've noticed over the years it's hard to find Japan based jerseys. I see some other companies that make a jersey, and we have a Cycle Shikoku jersey, but it's much more utilitarian. It has a map of Shikoku on it, and
Mm,
and I always put Japan on the jersey because our logo is Explore Japan by Bicycle.
mm.
Um, so that's what we're pushing for. I'm a cyclist like you are. I want to see people come here and have a good time,
Yeah,
and that's the key. And they're going to tell someone else. If they have a good time, they're going to tell someone else.
perfect. Excellent. Norman, thank you very much for joining the show for episode 153.
Oh, thank you, Marty. You're a lovely guy, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, and again, that was fantastic to meet you on the Shiretoko Pass,
Yeah, it's serendipity for sure.
for sure. Norman, stay cool down there, and at some point in the hopefully not too distant future, I will come down and ride the Shimanami Kaido.
Great, and you're welcome. And let us know when you'll be here, and we'll go and ride together with you. That'd be great.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Norman.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Take care. See you,
Take care.
folks. Have fun out there. Love ya.